Are we live?
I think we are live. We are live.
Live.
Oh, hello,
Well, that's the
live. Just a little bit. Oh my gosh, I love the duck duck. Do you like the duck duck? Where is the duck duck? I don't even know where the stream your duck duck is. I don't know where my duck duck is. You have
Ooh,
your duck.
it's right there.
Yeah, I think Duke ate my duck duck. How
Oh,
rude.
Duke.
Yeah, Duke is
oh,
sucky. Oh, okay. So this is an HOB takeover. So Mike really is not here. That's not him.
you're so funny.
This is AI Mike, because he's doing big things now. He does big things now, so he lets his little people take over HOB, right?
Yeah, yeah. That sounds so nice. And AI Mike is as dorky as the regular Mike. It's like Coke and Coke Zero kind of thing. Is what I'd say.
No,
So how are
Duco.
you? New
Good.
Coke. No. So first of all, CJ, you brought back the internet, and oh, I was on there. So we launched a new wave of the Hounds. We've got the whole lead gen for the farming approach, man. People who want to go out there, attract people, push people up. We don't like to pitch slap and all that. So we were unveiling that, and wouldn't you know that my internet service provider decided that, hey, we're going to update the whole month. Apparently, I'm the only guy working that this month, and it sucked. But here's what I love about it, and I want to hear your thoughts before we get into it. But nobody cares. Nobody cares that it was tough and that we had new things in a process that we're flushing out. Nobody cares a royal pain in the butt. Hey, these are the most supportive people and they see the value in it, man. I was like, dude, I'm spoiled rotten. So I'm excited to have you guys here. I'm excited for the book, and I'm excited more so to get our message out there even further for 2025. Man, there's so many people out there who have so much to offer and give in their life and business, and we have never been positioned more to do more for people than now. Like it's exciting. But Level Up Academy is exploding. The Hounds are exploding, and without saying too much, so many amazing, just successful groups and people and leaders are just flocking, and it's so much fun to see that. And you know why, right? CJ knows why. It ain't me. It daggum sure ain't me. It's that we invest in the right people, boy, and they reflect that goodness right back like a giant reflector plate. And so, anybody listening, I just want to say thank you, seriously, from the bottom of my heart, for the best year ever. Even though it was the most challenging, it was the best growth year of my life. And if you pay the price, like I just had somebody real quick, had somebody that in the Hounds, they struggled the whole year. They wanted to give up a million times, and then all of a sudden today they're like, hey, I got 5 clients. I got this going. I got that going, man. I'm so happy, so grateful. And I'm like, you know what? If you would have quit 2 weeks ago, this whole thing would have been a different combo. Right. So, hey, the support, the resources, this is why we're growing together, y'all. So, all right, cut me off. I'm just too much. I can't. I'm nostalgic today. I'm excited. And it's such life changing stuff going on. So, all right, CJ, interject. Get up.
No, I love that, but because I think it's not just us that's growing in adversity, and adversity actually gives you clarity
Mhm.
so that you can
Love it.
turn your pain into purpose. I'm a poet and didn't know it. Anyway, I
Back.
actually am so grateful because I have sisters like Susannah. I have you as a sister. Now Ben probably is going to be a sister too. And yes, you heard that right. Not a brother or sister. That's literally the close circle. Okay. The
That's an honor.
reason is that we need people who truly are for us, not halfway for us, not a quarter for us, but for us without judgment. And that we're able to tell each other things to improve and not get offended, right? Like, hey, can you do this, whatever? Or, hey, maybe you should do it this way. And you don't feel like you're better than anybody else. You're like, oh my God, you're so right. I think I'm just going to change it, right? Truly have that conversation with someone without being offended. And growth really is through pain. But yesterday, I was literally close of like closing shop for Level Up Academy and said goodbye, world. Maybe, see ya, maybe next year, maybe. I was really just frustrated. It's not that I'm overwhelmed with what I do, it's I'm overwhelmed with negative people. And I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm listening to the news, a child in a Christian school killed their teacher, like that negative thing, and the whole country has all these issues with drone, but nobody knows, not even our government knows. Like, what is happening with people? Why are we going crazy? And why are some people within even our network? These are true people that we kind of know, we kind of see, and we kind of grown. Why are you guys so negative? Why do you think that you're better than other people? And why do you feel the need to put other people down so you can feel better? Like, it hurts my heart so much that I can't handle it. Like, it's just this whole entire year was like that, and people who are saying be mindful, be caring are the ones who are actually not mindful or caring. So, like, when can we actually take that? I almost curse. When can we actually take that shite and put it a mirror in their face and said, you know what, enough is enough. I've had enough of your crap. Stop. Right? Because we're trying to be kind, we're trying to be compassionate because we really don't know what's going on with their life. But why are we letting negative people rule the freaking world? Why?
Not, but hey, they're not, man. That's what I found. There's so many good-hearted, high-level people out there that you just got to go searching through the diamonds in the rough, right? You just have to go out there. Here's the difference maker. We don't talk. We do stuff and point to it. That's the I had a call the other day and this guy was like, he was trying to figure it all out. And I said, man, this is the hardest call I've had in a long time. Probably the hardest. He said, why? I said, because I don't know how to do this. What I'll do is go out there and do stuff, make things happen, you know, talk to you about it, point to it, and you do it. Like, yeah, I don't know how to do this whole exchange and persuasion bit. And that's what I mean. People want to see fruit. They want to see, hey, I belong, I fit in, right? People will support me, right? The only reason I'm not making the impact I can make in the world is because I don't have the resources and support to get it done, right? And that's what we're providing. We're not perfect people, but because of our pain and because of the things we went through, we're motivated, right? I don't want Nicole to drive off the bridge 16 times like I did, right? If I can flag her down and say, hey, take a detour, that's what we're all about. And this is why I'm excited because we're attracting not just folks like me, we're attracting folks all around the world of different backgrounds, different status. And so that's the lesson, CJ. You're out there doing things and the right people see that and the right people value that. And that's what we're all about, right? People are attracted to that. Right. We go out there and push people up. Other winners go, wow, I like that. Yeah, that's a lot better than just having a bunch of coffee chats to sell your crap, right? It's a much difference. So, hey, let's roll the intro. We got a special person back there with a hat on in the book. And Trevor Van Warden, wow, man, I ain't seen you for a while. It is Christmas time.
It
Dr.
is.
Fortune from London, so good to see you. Hopefully, I said that right. And oh, Shelly Cohen. All right,
Yeah,
this lady is the most. She is the most inspiring. One of the most. Got to be top 10 or two. Uh, she's not the one. When I have a bad day, I don't mind her. Like if you ever heard her story, man, she's the real deal. Paige, welcome. So glad you're here. Uh, Sylvia. Wow, there's a lot of new folks. Oh, Nicole. Nicole does metaverse. I went on Nicole. She's a new hound and had a great time on her webinar. So we'll be posting about that. Who's that? That's look, we know who that is. That's Susannah
that's
Dawn.
my favorite
I'm
people.
gonna make her
My Pikachu.
I'm gonna make her blush.
That's my Pika.
All
Uh,
right. So, all
um,
right, how about we roll this? We're going to go ahead, start the intro, come back. And this is just a fun time, guys. Hey, share your reflections in the comments. Talk about your wins, talk about your growth, talk about the things you're excited about in 2025. Don't pitch slap with a P. Hey, but network, connect with each other, follow, have fun. All right, we're just going to be talking about the wins with the book. My second book, two-time, thanks to you ladies, international bestseller.
that's
So
right.
let's have a good time. If Papaw can find the button, there it is. All right, we got it.
Are you looking to grow your network and your net worth with other high-level, heart-centered professionals? Then grab a seat and your favorite beverage and join Mike Asherbranner, the Redneck Connector. It's time for the Hounds of Business Community Happy Hour.
How? No, Mike, what is happening? We just kicked it. Oh my God, I'm not seeing the hat.
Hey, real quick, I'll be back. I got a special guest live. I got to bring the special guest out, and we got to do a special little thing. Check the private chat, CJ. Come on now.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
All
I
right.
will take over. Okay, that is for sure. Oh, he just left us. Hello, everybody. Take over from Level Up. Okay, so Sister Susannah, we're gonna start with you. How does it feel? Right, we're doing reflection right now. How does it feel to finish up strong with our Against the Grain project?
What, you mean all 4 of these?
Yes. How does it feel?
It feels good. It's always great when we go into these projects and we never guarantee how it's going to succeed, because to do so is, you can't guarantee. We've seen people guarantee and they didn't come through.
Yeah.
It's better, well, your words, it's better to overgive basically than to overcommit.
Yeah.
And so when it finally hit that number 1, it's like I'll take the first number 1, and then we'll work it through everybody else. And when we hit number 1 international, it's like taking the weight off of the shoulders, just because it's not that I want it necessarily. I want it for everybody else, because that's the way it's like they came, they wrote, they put so much work into it, that the minute we get that number 1 international for everybody else, that's what I want to see. And that's when I can start to relax.
Yeah, that's true. We do have to keep going with that. I always say under promise, over deliver. That is the motto for a business class that I always say: under promise and over deliver. I also wanted to share with you guys that this morning I was actually listening to Warren Buffett and addressing some of the graduates, like 2,000 graduates that he was talking about. And he said it doesn't matter if it's 1920s, 2050, or 2025. The only way a business can really move forward is if you actually have good experience with your customers, right? Oh my God, there's the guest. Are you guys ready?
Oh my gosh.
Are you guys ready?
Okay.
It's okay. Oh, she's so cute. Don't
Did you
get
see
out.
this?
It's here.
I
There
want to
we
see.
go.
I don't.
Oh
Hi.
my
What
God.
is it? Oh
All right. Do I have the music?
I don't know. Do you have the music?
What?
Do we need a music? Ready?
No. Can you
No, I can't. I still can't use Restream or StreamYard. Hold on. No, I'm not gonna. Don't be weird.
Are you guys ready?
All right. We have no music.
That's okay. Ready?
Okay.
And
All right,
5,
ready?
4, 3, 2, 1. Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday to Saint.
Happy birthday.
to you.
This is bad.
Happy birthday,
Birthday,
dear
dear Emma. She's like, what's her name?
Emma.
Emma.
Hannah.
Birthday.
What?
I'm not take something in my nose.
Oh
Oh.
my God.
Yeah,
she's
like,
so
and I
cute.
stick it up my.
Hey, well, tell her thank you. She says she got cake in her nose hole, so we gotta. She's gonna go out to leave. So wave, say thank you.
Happy birthday, Emma.
Happy
So
birthday.
cute. Oh my God, your kids are so
Oh, look at
adorable.
that.
So cute.
You're live. We'll watch it later.
She's like,
Love
what?
you, baby. Go.
Live.
All
What
right,
is
go
that
hold her
mean?
down. Yeah.
Wait, so how old is she now? 6 or 7?
She just turned 6 today.
Aw.
And she's lucky.
Oh.
She's lucky I'm busy, or I turn the hose. She's got cake everywhere, man. I just hose her down.
Oh my God, she's so adorable, Mike. Oh, I
Is it-
remember when I miss those times when my girls are 6. Now it's like I don't ever see my youngest because she's on sleepover, always on sleepover. It's annoying, but it is what it is. So, Mike, what are you grateful for?
Oh man, yeah. If you missed my long love bomb earlier, what am I not grateful for? That list is shorter, right? Even though some of my Gargamel's coming out this, it's Christmas time, and I'm turning, I'm about one step away from chasing kids off my porch with a broom sometimes. But I'm overwhelmed with it. all the challenges, all the good things, all of it was, growth. That's it. You celebrate the good times, enjoy them. Bad times propel you into more good times. That's really what I've discovered. So, and the biggest win for me is to be able to do things for other people, other groups. We were able to do things separately and together, CJ. For military veterans, right? The Corsair Racer. I didn't. I just said yes. I was so happy that a guy like me, who just came up from nothing, went through all the adversity, and can help people who sacrificed all their time and their energy and their life for our country, right? Those kind of things propel me, right? Helping people with cancer survival rate, right? People who are doing innovative things like Rochelle, right? And Orchid Healthcare and Jill Squire, right? Like it's like Dr. Phil, like I'm just a good old boy from Texas. It's saying like, wow, how do you accomplish this? And so, you know, I just can't wait. I can't wait to do more together. Now we got a system, that we can duplicate the things that we do. We can make this much more exponential, and I'm just grateful. I want to see more people win. That's how we do it. Like, I mean, we actually have a profitable ecosystem community that is profitable and more fun when you push up other people, right? I worked harder getting more people, the right people into your all's anthology than I did on my own stuff, right? Why? Right? Because when CJ goes out there and says, "Hey, Mike's great," people go, "What? What is this?" And it's authentic, it's real, right? And that's what I mean. It's so much better than the standard, me stuff. And it's okay I'm not saying it's not okay to be, take care of yourself. What I'm saying is take care of yourself so you can give more and take care of others. Because I get way more by pushing up these folks and all the people in the comments and the hounds than I ever would on my own. And hey, that's not crap. That's real. All right. All right. Because that's it. So I'm grateful for just everything, bad, good, in between. What about you?
Yeah, so I want to actually ask Dr. Mary a question. And this goes for Ben and my sister Susannah, but like in moments of adversity, how do you stay resilient? And like what role does self-reflection play in overcoming those challenges?
So for me, this whole past year was just kind of a really challenging time, especially last year at this time. And it was just really, really tough, dark times about a year ago, right around now. So something that kind of helped me kind of stay resilient is just kind of doing as much as I can for focusing on other people and looking around me and being kind of grateful for what I have and grateful for who I do have in my life and who I turn to for support and who I can support in turn. So kind of looking outside of like whatever's going on at kind of the bigger picture in life of like who's around me, who can I help uplift if I'm kind of down or not kind of in like a sad moment, like who can I help uplift to kind of spread a positive message a little bit more forward. That's something that kind of helps me stay strong and helps me be resilient. And that kind of is what really helps me kind of go through some obstacles too, just kind of staying focused on people around me that like might need a little bit of help and might need a little bit of love or a little bit of support instead of just myself. So looking kind of outward is what really motivates me and what really kind of helps me stay grounded and stay positive in those like really dark times, because they kind of come around. Life's like kind of like a roller coaster. It goes up and then it goes down and then there's an up and then it goes down, and that's just kind of we just kind of have to ride the wave and just kind of take it all in. So that's what kind of helps me stay strong. So it kind of helps me overcome some of the obstacles, just remembering that like, so a lot of times things are kind of harder in my head, or if I feel them really deeply, it's kind of more intense because I'm in the moment, but that's just a moment and that moment will pass. So when that moment will pass, how do I want to reflect back on it? Well, I want to feel like I tried my best to kind of not just be so self-absorbed and focus on myself, but look outside and see who else is needing some helps. If I'm having a dark moment, someone else probably is as well.
I love that. I love that. Like self-reflection on
Yeah.
what you need. I think it makes it easier too. You're not focused on your own problems and your own processes, right?
Yeah.
I think most of the time Susanna and I actually do that for each other. So like we vent, and then we're like, okay, I'm done with my pity party. Let's move on. What's in the house of projects right now? And so we just kind of focus on projects and writing. And when I get upset or if I'm mad at something or someone, I tend to just write. And then I tell her, oh, I think I have another book. I'm halfway there. And she's like, oh my God, who made you mad? Literally, my question, like, who made you mad? Why are you writing this? Because most of my newsletter is someone ticked me off. So I'm like, oh, I have to write what you just said is wrong. That's why it's wrong.
Yeah.
And I do a hybrid of academic publishing and self-publishing at the same time when I write, to prove my point that it's like, no, you have to think of other thoughts other than your own, like having a little perspective than just perception. So Ben, the same
Yeah.
question for you, sir.
Yeah, 2024 has been a year of adverse events, let me tell you. And it's taken a lot of resiliency and reflection. I see the activity of remaining resilient and self-reflection as a combo. We can't do one without the other. In essence, to stay resilient, you have to think, in my opinion, you're really not in that bad of a situation. I like to think about, I have a roof over my head. How many people on this earth do not have a roof over their head or shoes on their feet? And anything could be worse than what you're in right now, is my perspective, which allows me to stay resilient, especially in the most adverse of times.
I like that you started. No, I like that you start from being grounded, because I think often we look at our problems like we're alone in this problem and this is the only problem and it's so hard and it's so difficult that you're like, literally yesterday, that's how I was feeling. I was so overwhelmed with grief. I couldn't shake myself. Like I kind of bleed through today and I just danced it off. I was listening to music. I did meditation. Like my dog literally looked at me like, what is wrong with you? Because I went from rock music to like rap music to really like the 1920s music to Elvis, and my dog was confused. It made me feel better, just kind of be grounded and be myself. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to create a video on my wigs. Why not? And that's literally kind of just got me through the day. And I think the foundation is to not stay stagnant, right? Sister, what about you? Same question. And then we move on to the next question with Mike.
Oh, and there's been a lot of adversity, and even the stuff that's going on right now. Part of being able to stay resilient, to keep going, because oftentimes that's really what it is to keep going. Sometimes it's just to sit back and go, well, there's no choice. It's like, I have to do this. But in other situations, even around that even when I know that's what I have to do, it doesn't make it any easier. So being able to have those conversations with you, to just drop, because the beauty of a space of belonging where you've got somebody that you can trust and you can say anything to, is that means if I can't say the words, I can drop an emoji in the text. And you know what, you once I drop that emoji, it's like I've told you what it is. So once I do it, or once I say certain words, you know where my headspace and timing is. And when I think about like some of the stuff that's going on right now, part of it is the fact that I've got you guys checking in on me. And part of it is like a day like today where I go see my therapist. That would be my manicurist. So that one time, once or twice a month, that I get to go see somebody totally out of the network, but it just makes things easier. Having the people that I can talk to, that's what helps me to stay grounded and get through a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, it is important to have that conversation and rules of engagement, right? Like talking about just dropping an emoji. So, Sister Mike, what does the concept of revolution means to you personally, and How do you think resilience and reflection contribute to creating real change? Because you've gone through so much this year.
To put it lightly, no. Yeah, honestly, it's hard for me to think of it this way. I think it was an evolution or evolution if you're in Maryland and up there in north. But yeah, to me, it's let's see, that's a big question. You even gave me heads up, and I'm still going, oh. Um, to me, it was. I realized this year that my business and my community and life in general will only grow to the level I'm willing to grow, right? And we talked about this before. But instead of focusing on business issues or marketing strategy, I did that. But I realized, hey, you got to believe you. You got to be happy with you. You have to be able to show up anywhere, be you, right? If there's 1,000 people boo after I get done talking, man, last year that would have made me cry. No, I ain't gonna lie. This year, I'm like, man, it must be the wrong daggum room, right? Like, where's the room I'm supposed to be speaking at? So I just wanted to encourage people with this, what's the real reason that I'm doing this? Right? I really want to change the daggone world. I really want to pass on and empower other people to make an impact. All the things that we see and that we hate, right? All this injustice, all this stuff in the world. We were talking about this earlier, CJ. I can't control it. If I watch the news, it's like, wow, all this crappy stuff in the world I can't do anything about, right? But here I can. And that's what we wanted people to do, right? This small, meaningful, what can I do? Think about it. I mean, it's not rocket science. If millions of people, billions of people decided to take on that mindset, things would get done, right? Complaining and whining and stuff. Just say, hey, what can I do? So, first of all, change comes from a decision. It's not easy. There's no aha, like big thing. You just look in the mirror and say, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. You got to be honest with yourself. That's the main thing. I looked at myself and, we all BS ourselves. I used to say, "Oh, I never saw that coming." And then one day I said, "Bull stuff. You see everything coming." So, like when you're real with yourself, you can be real with others. You'll start to uncover opportunities, you'll start to make new friends, you'll start to shed old habits, old people, everything. Life will change. It's scary. But I think really what I'm trying to say is courage before confidence. Have the courage to figure out who you are, right? And go be your best self. That's how I remedied it. I said, look, life throws me crap for 43 years. You know what I learned to do this year? Turn it into fertilizer immediately. That's it. Hey, there's something I don't like or something that is inconvenient. How can I take that and make it something, useful? How can I win through the adversity? And that's been it, problem solving. So anybody out there say, "Oh, I can't do this. I tried it a million times." You know what? Maybe you tried it everybody else's way, but your own way. Right? That was my whole thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Stop looking outside, look inside. Take it. Say, "Hey, what do I want to see?" Right? And then go find people who believe in you. Go. Last thing, all the people that pushed me up and supported me this year were instrumental. And the funny thing is that I was not in a position to pay it forward. These folks just there was no reason for it. There was no benefit to it. They just did it because that's who they are. Right. And
Mhm.
that's why it's so important. And that's why we're so successful in the Hounds. That's why Level Up is so good because you belong. You can come as you are and develop and grow with people who also believe that. Right. And that's
That's
really
why.
the success story.
Yeah. Well, it's important to find that belonging. Like Sister Susannah is the queen of belonging. That's what I'm going to say it, and I'm going to stick to it. Reason being is that when you do feel like you belong, you're more productive citizen for that entire group, right? And it takes a while for me to trust people. Trust is earned, not given for me. I have given so many trust, and it just flop. So I'm not doing that. I trust is earned, period. And I watch people on what they do for others, not necessarily for me, because I really do not need anything from anyone. My mission is to really just level up the world through education, however that looks and shows up for people. But for me, since we're going to the title of Against the Grain, it's a shame I'm the only one who doesn't have the book here right now, but both Susannah, not both, but all three of them have them. But going against the grain means challenging those traditional ways of learning, right? Learning our ways, our mindset, our stereotypes, breaking those molds by offering, for me, I offer educational programs that designed to empower people. Honestly, we're all student of life. If you think about it, some of us are advanced students on certain things. right? But real world skills, mentorship, personalized support, helping each other achieve whatever success they think that they need, right? Because the world is changing, and when you think outside of the proverbial box, taking a more holistic approach to learning life, but it's fun when it's together with all of us, not just one person, right? And I think what really is a foundation of HOB and Level Up is the kindness and the compassion and showing up for yourself. And when you're ready, we're ready for you. But most of us don't really take the attitude of take, 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 take. We take and then we give back. And that's what I love. I'm going to ask, Dr. Mary wants to show you something, but I'm going to ask the question back to Ben and Dr. Mary, of course. Dr. Mary, take it away.
Mhm.
So, I'm really excited because my copy of this came. So I just wanted to say that something I'm really grateful for this year is that I got to really work with all of you a little more and kind of talk to you a little bit more. And I'm so happy to be kind of like what you were saying about like giving to others and, you know, focusing on others besides ourselves. I'm really, really grateful to work with such a caring and kind group of people who are helping publish something where the proceeds go towards confronting domestic violence. So that's, again, it's about what you do, not just what you say. So helping these, you know, survivors of this is just something that just sends such a positive message and just kind of helps support other people that, you know, could use a little bit of uplifting too, because I know what it's like to be in that situation. And this is such an important message that, you know, this book kind of sends, just going against the grain and finding belonging in a world where there's so much resistance around you. And to have the proceeds also go to confronting domestic violence just is such a wonderful thing that I'm really grateful for to be part of this whole project. So yeah.
I love that. Yeah, all of our projects always goes somewhere, right? That's what we do is we always go somewhere. So beyond boundaries, we have Madagascar trees. Moving beyond boxes, we have Honduras trees. Rebel with a cause, we have mental health, and then against the grain is confronting domestic violence. And then for the one in March, I don't know if I'm gonna go back to trees again or maybe something else that moves my spirit. And I will always go do that. I'm not a rich person. We're not rich, but we provide back to our community because community is super important to us, right? That's for sure. Yes, Ben. Question for you, right? What does going against the grain means to you?
That's a really deep question. So I started thinking about going against the grain, and I'm thinking embracing courage and standing apart from expectations, both of which are incredibly difficult to do, let me tell you. But these expectations, whether they come from society, others, or even myself, it's about choosing a path that feels authentic to who I am. Even when that choice feels, again, like really difficult, or it might sound like nails on a chalkboard. It's really uncomfortable, but for me, that challenging of the self-doubt and taking bold steps to create something meaningful like worth, and building a life that reflects my values is so important, and reflective of going against the grain. So rather than simply, following status quo, it's determination to forge my own way, regardless of that resistance. It's I don't know if anyone watches RuPaul's Drag Race, but it's like what's the girl's name? Jinx Monsoon, and she would say it's like water off a duck's back, and going against the grain is kind of the opposite of that. But if you can reframe it to allow that water down your back, you're swimming.
So we go from I was gonna say
Who
we go
doesn't
from
watch it?
dark swan to a beautiful swan. So, Dr. Mary, I'm going to go back to you, then I'm going to go to Susannah because I have a different question for Susannah.
Yes.
What does going against the grains means to you?
I think it really means, there's so much noise in the world around us. Everyone has an opinion, everyone has a thought, everyone has a suggestion or an order or recommendation of how to do things. I think going against the grain means really following your own heart and listening to your inner voice and really just doing what you think is right in the world where everyone has an opinion about what's right. So I think that for me, going against the grain just kind of really means being intuitive and listening to yourself and just doing what you know is true to who you are and just listening to who your soul and following what your soul says is who you are. So if someone says you should be like this, well, everyone's going to have an opinion. Someone's probably going to say, oh my gosh, why is she wearing a Santa hat? This is a show. You know what I mean? Someone's going to have a criticism on who you are, what you do, but you have to just kind of be true to yourself and just kind of listen to your intuitive voice and just kind of be true to who you are. So for me, going against the grain just kind of means being authentic and being true to you.
I love it. And besides, we love your Santa hat. Like,
someone's not going to, someone's going to make some kind of comment. Oh, why is she wearing that? But
right.
Hello, it's like
it's
Santa
Christmas.
Hat.
Like, do you want me to wear a leprechaun hat? Would that make you happy? Like,
you would probably want no hat.
Hey, you know what?
It's tiny.
I know people, right? It is so tiny. It's so cute, Mike.
It's like me.
I have a question
She
for
took
you,
it. She took it from an actual elf. That's why it's like it's the elf. Like, it's like she just snatched it off its head and ran off.
And it has a crown. It's like a princess in it.
I saw that. It's so adorable. Mike needs a crown too on his camo hat for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, first of all, there, Mr. Anderson, I love the beard. You all don't know how bad I want to grow a beard like that, but I just can't pull it off. It's the same reason I can't wear a bandana. Like certain things, man, my head just doesn't work. But he made a good point. People don't like it when people think and go against the grain. I'm going to put a little caveat. The wrong people, right? I learned, real quick, because I know she had a question, but whatever. Self-selection. That's what I learned. What I thought was rejection was actually turned into self-selection. We could have a whole nother hour on that. But it was a mindset. It was the same situations, the same thing life throws at you. But instead of, oh my God, what do I do? That sucks. I said, hey, do I even want to be here? Right. So in other words, instead of worrying about the outcomes, I decided to say, hey, I'm going to put me out there. And the right people, the right opportunities will find me, and the wrong stuff will end up going away or not even showing up at the doorstep. And again, it's not weird talk. It's not cocky talk. It's just things I've learned the hard way. Just like I learned that about 95% of the self-help section is horseshit. Right? That's what I also learned this year. All right, because it's hard, it's painful, but if you're willing to go forward, man, look, I'm surrounded by people. I've been in 2 anthologies, went to international bestseller, and we are blowing up faster than I can keep up with. And that's because we focused on the right people and what we can do in the ecosystem, and said to hell with outcomes. That's honestly the raw, way that I put it. What do you think, CJ?
Yeah, we love helping people, but we really don't know the end or the outcome that what's going to happen. We kind of just go with the flow. And I think that's what I've told my sisters too this year, is that when we don't have expectations and just go with the flow, it actually is better for you because you don't have any heartache, right? I learned so much this year. I've learned to give access to certain people to me only. I used to feel bad when I get DMs every day. So my calendar is not open on September. August is filled up. And so and the guy's like, I think I keep getting a calendar message saying, oh, your calendar is broken. It's not open till next year, September. So I get a lot of those messages. And now I'm thinking, like, why do you think that it's broken and you can just have quick access to people who have other lives that they're doing? Like, why is it automatically that it's broken? So the thought pattern for people is we want access to you no matter what, and we don't care about your time. But the only thing we have in this earth, literally, that you cannot buy is time. I don't care if you're a billionaire or a trillionaire. You cannot buy time. right? But yet we are freely giving time for people that don't actually need access of your time. So how do you respect yourself instead of continuing to disrespect yourself by giving time, giving access to people who don't deserve you? I'm not saying that you're better. I'm not saying that you're above. I'm saying love your time because you cannot buy time. And if you want to actually interact with people, make sure you know what you want. Because when you have a conversation with someone, whether it's me or Mike or anybody else, when I see 15 minutes, it is 15 minutes. That Zoom is going to end. So obviously, you have my calendar. That means you want something from me. I want to know now what I can do to collaborate with you, even if it's a sliver. But I can tell in 5 minutes if I like your energy or not. Period. And that's just how I roll, right? But so I've learned this year that if I want it, I will get it. I don't care what it is, who it is, whatever, right? Because I reflected, literally, I did everything this year in 5 months. My TV show, my magazine, my press release, my everything in 5 months. So if I can do it in 5 months, I sure can do it again, right? So I have so many lessons learned, but I realize I need to respect me and my time. And I need people to guide them or have a rules of engagement, because if you don't respect yourself, no one will. If you don't get inspired by your own stories, no one will. If you don't show your action and it becomes an inaction, nothing happens, but you're all just hot air and talk, right? So do something for yourself once and for all, and forget about whatever people are telling you can't. Why not me? Ask your question, why not me? Why can't I do it? What is stopping you from moving forward with whatever the heck you want to do? And there is no such thing to me as failure. It just means you need to redirect yourself somewhere else and find a way to move forward, right? It's opening door number one. Whoops, there's a shark in there. Yeah, slam the door. Opening door number two. Whoa, that's flooded. I can't swim. Okay, close the door. Opening number three. Oh, wait, I can walk. I can do this number three, right? But that doesn't mean, like Dr. Mary said, that it's flat surface. Okay, it could be literally uphill battle and you're like struggling to go up, but at least you're not drowning, right? You're able to walk. And there is going to be downhill. It's not going to go uphill all the time. But I think we forget that we always want to go to our destination when we should actually be present in the moment and enjoy the journey, whether it's bad or good. Remember, guys, you don't learn from perfect life, you learn from adversity. That's how you learn, right? What do you think,
Yeah,
Mike?
gum straight.
Okay.
Hey, you said it all, but I mean, the way I phrase it is I'm not against anyone, but I'm for me now. Right. So those two have to go together. Right. And just like me and you, right? We just get it. I know what to do. We don't even have to talk anymore. We just got telepathy, right? Like I could just come in and, do things and help you and you do the same for me. So when you're vibing with people, it's good. But if you're not vibing with folks, you don't take it personal. Right. A lot of times you don't have to take it personal. You're just investing time, right? It's just like anything else. You eat enough so you can survive and live. You put enough gas in your car to get to point A to point B. You just have to use discernment. So, if anybody out there is struggling, listen, we're not saying change who you are, but what I learned to do, like I love people a little too much, right? You get a little doormat issues sometimes, but then I learned to temper that with self worth, right? You just say, hey, I love people, but I'm not going to go so far where I lose myself, put myself in a bad spot, right? And I can't look in the mirror, right? And you just go out there when you know who, I don't want to say who you are, but when you understand who you are, right, and what you want to be, what you want to accomplish, and you stick to that, things get better, right? They get harder, but they get better. So there's a difference between being like comfortable and all that or being fulfilled. I'm so what I'm trying to say is all the stuff that used to hold me down, keep my head buried in the sand, all that stuff. I face it now, whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether it's not, and it's a mindset, guys. It's a mentality. That's really what it comes down to is a mentality. I could be a victim. I could do this and that, but I just woke up and said, no, I'm going to live fully. Whatever the hell, what does that look like? I don't know yet, but you know what? I'm going to go find out. Right? It's a victim versus a victor mentality, and it's a choice, not an easy one, but that's who's in the house. People who just kind of woke up one day and said, you know what, I'm going to do something about this. What are you going to do? Have no clue. I have no idea what the hell I'm going to do, but I'm going to go do it. I'm going to go find. I'm going to have conversation. Look at Mary. Like she's fine. She's doing good, but she's like, I wanted to write. These people keep talking about it. Let me take some baby steps. Let me ask some questions. Right now, look what's happening. These all kind of
Baby
first.
steps.
Baby steps? Are you wait? Where's how do I international bestseller? That was a big baby step.
That was
a
that was a
jump.
giant baby step.
Amazing.
Yeah,
But think
I
about it
love
this way: if we let adversity take us down, this wouldn't be happening. And that's what gets me going. Like, dude, you got to find a way. You got to grow, because if you don't grow, half the people in the book wouldn't be here. You got to start
it.
thinking about yourself and then start thinking outside of yourself. Big
I want
picture
to
stuff. Will
address
this matter in
Trevor.
5 years? If it don't matter in 5 years, stop worrying about it today. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I said I want to address Trevor. He's like ultra rich people who have their own airplanes are functionally buying time in a way that most people cannot. That's a temporary buying time. They want to be 20-year-old because they're 60-year-old. They can't buy time to go back. Unless you have time machine that I just don't know about. I need that time machine. I will make myself go in there. I know people who own their own airplanes and fly themselves too. I know a couple of people who do that, but they're still old. They can't go backwards. They can't buy time to do that. I know a lot of rich people, but they're not buying time that way. Yes, we can shortcut a little bit, right? I could hire people to do things that I want, but it's not the level of excellence that I want. As soon as I let go and not be a control freak of level up, then I will get there. Right now, I need a strong foundation to make sure that most companies, when they grow, they lose the value system that they actually started with, right? So I want to make sure that I have a good foundations, because level up just means everybody gets to level up no matter where they're at. And kindness and compassion has to be the heart and center of everything that you do, because without it, without compassion, without being mindful that you could hurt people and others, then what's the point of leveling up? You're not going to level up anymore because you're just hurting people left and right because you want to move up. I think it's not fun to be up on top by yourself. You want to have friends with it. So yeah, definitely. Sister Susanna, I haven't heard from you. I want to know more about what's your plan for, 2025 in terms of, you're changing, right? Right now we're envisioning writing as an evolution of storytelling. I just talked to Jay today about the rules of engagement that he has with storytelling. And we have similar rules, actually, I found out with Jay on how we do it.
Right.
But one thing I want to level you up is academic publishing, because you haven't tried that. And you will level up, because I will not take no for an answer from you on academic publishing. I will teach you how to write it. But what else, other than that, you think you're envisioning about storytelling and leveling up our partnership on writing?
So for us, there's going to be, I think we're going to create more opportunities to work with people. We've got the anthologies, but I envision being able to do some classes with people, because we already work with them in the anthologies, but I'd like to have some people work on a class with them on writing anthologies and actually walk with them through the steps through like a month-long program. Then there's and part of that too, it's going to include being aware that Chat GPT and other AI programs are not storyteller programs. People need to understand what needs to come out on that story. And you and Jay were talking about that this morning, and I commented on it too. It's you have to understand what it means to show versus tell. So a lot of people really are missing that when they write their stories. And it's one of the things I love in the anthologies, when we hit that too much telling, to be able to get them to shift a little bit and see how much better their story becomes when they show instead of list off a whole bunch of stuff. It's got to be a story, and it really doesn't matter what genre it is, or if it's nonfiction. You want it to pop for people to read, and I see that. I know we've bounced some other classes around. The book club is still there as we create classes for anybody that joins the book club. And I think between us, we're already looking at how many different books we want to put out. I've got one. I feel like I just need to do some polish and add some connectors and have another genre book come out. And that one would be my first science fiction story book. Then I've got some ideas focused on just helping people better understand moving beyond boxes and what it means to find that space of belonging, what it means to stop covering ourselves to be authentic, and to add more, because like you said, we hear so many people talk about the importance of being authentic. You've got to be authentic. And sometimes it's to the point where I don't think they understand what they're saying. It's just the catchword that everybody else is saying, so they're going to say it. That's another one of the things that when we work with authors, when we write ourselves, it's getting people to see that there's a meaning to authentic. It's not just a catchphrase. It's not just something you say because you don't think somebody's being authentic. First off, you got to know yourself to know what authentic is. And then you need to be able to realize if you are in the space that you should be, or if you need to move to the space that you belong.
Yes,
So,
before I leave, because I do have to go, I want to say that you have blossomed this year. You have grown so much this year. And thank you for trusting me with your heart, your mind, your soul. I mean, you're praying for my soul every Sunday, you and Danielle, thank God. But because I haven't done my Bible study in a while, but I love that you guys really go to church and help each other out, kind of center faith into what we do in every day. But I wanted to tell you guys, and think about this when I leave, is what is your word or words for next year? Okay, I'm going to start with mine before I leave. Mine is living by design. I want to be intentional on every move that I make as much as possible. um, and the choices that I will make, and I need to be accountable. If I make a mistake or if I hurt someone, I want to be accountable for that. But I don't want to be a passive driver of my life. I want to be living with intentions and by design next year. So good luck, have fun. I do have to go because I have an R&D team waiting for me. Bye guys.
Bye, sis.
Yeah, I was going to ask that too. I said, what happened to little shy Susannah over there, man? Don't remind her. That's the problem. She didn't realize she was all out there and was social butterfly. Now, as soon as we say that, she's going to be like, oh my God, no. So, no, we all have, and I love it. That's why I want the hounds to chime in. Tell us, hey, the question's on the screen. Let me go to that. We'll start with Mary and her little elf hat. It's just a totes adorbs, right? All right. Yeah, I have 12-year-olds, so I know the lingo. So, as we step into the new year, and everybody chat this if you like, what intentions or goals are you setting for yourself to ensure growth and transformation?
I love this question. I really am curious on what everyone's going to say about this. I think for me, something that one of my goals is going to be to just keep doing what I've been doing, and just kind of like focusing on trying to grow and try to be a better person, and trying to step outside my boxes of what I've kind of limited myself in. Like, I never thought I would be part of writing a book. I thought it was just a dream that was not feasible to me, and so now here we are, right? So I think my goal is to like continue on and just keep growing. And I know, Mike, you've seen me throughout the last year where sometimes I just kind of like away from everyone and just kind of like just trying to breathe. But this past year, I've really tried to just kind of focus on kind of growing and being a better person, not just for myself, but for other people around me too. And just kind of continue on whatever this path is that I'm on, just to not fade away and not like forget about like following my heart and following my dreams. So I think the key to doing this is just really surrounding yourself with people that are just good people and have good intentions, and cutting out any toxic vibes. And anytime someone makes you feel bad or makes you feel kind of less than, just that's not your group. So that's not your person. That's not the energy that you need to be around, you want to be giving off the energy that you surround yourself with as well. So I think just kind of remembering that and continuing on this path and just kind of seeing what happens in a year from now and just continue on like this is what I want to be. I don't want to fade away again and just be like, thinking about anything toxic or letting anything affect me. I just want to focus on the good around me and just staying how I've been doing and, surrounding myself with like uplifting positive lights, like everyone in this group right here that I'm looking at. So, and CJ, we just, yay. I could go
you
on
set it
for
up.
hours.
No, very well said. And
I can babble for a long time.
Go
with it.
No, I'm like, I could just keep babbling and babbling for hours, but that's what I want to focus on. So yeah.
No, I loved it. And we missed you. You were gone for months, right? That's what I mean. Nobody pushed our will onto you. That's a big difference, right? When somebody keeps pushing you to do stuff and you're not like, you got to question that. You got to say, hey, why is this happening? Right? Do people in my best interest really push me that hard to do something I may not be in my best interest? And I didn't even think of this. We were there, but we let you go through and do what you needed to do, right? And then when you were ready, the door was open. And I think that, and we do life and business this way. That's why it's so daggum effective, right? And it works. People, relationships. I talk about this in my course, where I was like dating. I was like business, dating and marketing, no difference to me. Like, who do we like? The man or woman is like, look at me and my muscles, or the person that goes, hey, I'd love to take you out. We'll have fun, but I got options, right? I'll wait for you, right? It's absolute, and you can't fake it. So I love that point. I'm glad you're happy, but nobody pushes anybody. We're just attracting, right? Like Susannah didn't go and kick the door down and say, writing this book. Right? I'm just like, oh, hey, maybe I want to write it. Then I started meeting people and I'm like, wow, this should go in the book, right? It was so organic. So I am so glad to see you grow. Honored that you chose to work with us, to grow with us. And you've been a great, great friend. And I can't thank you enough, honestly. So yeah, I'm mushy at the end of the year. Get over it. All right. Oh, and by the way, and I'd love to know what the folks in the comments think. That one word of the year. Mine's been intention forever, but it changed. I don't know where it came from. It's corny, but what is your one word? Do you have one?
My one word is just like, I think my word is inspiration. Like, I just want to continue. Like, okay, so I find so much inspiration from, like, honestly, Susannah and CJ. They're just such good people. They're just positive energy the second you talk to them. So I kind of want to continue on with inspiration and just being inspired by people that are genuinely good and uplifting. And I just kind of want to mention one thing that you kind of said that I just want to kind of add on to is that, with one of the anthologies, like, I was almost there. I almost wanted to do it. And I know that, like, someone had asked me about it. I think it was Susannah that said, hey, if you were thinking about, writing, and I was so close, but it just wasn't the right time. And I said, this isn't the right time, but, just because I had a lot of darkness around me and I didn't feel like I could spread a positive message. If I was not in a positive place and I had too much darkness, I couldn't spread a message of light, which is what I wanted to spread, And so I said, not right now, but, I'll let you know. But when I was ready with this one, when I was ready, I said, hi, I really like this topic. Do you think I could be part of this? And everyone was so welcoming. So even though the door was like, I closed it a little bit, I shut it a little, not right now, maybe later. Like, when I wanted to come back, everyone was so welcoming. You were welcoming. CJ was welcoming. Susannah was amazing. Everyone was welcoming. So I really liked that I felt like I was welcome, like, kind of embraced in a hug again. Like, okay, you can come with us. Yes, we would love to have you. And it wasn't, I was worried that was like, everyone be like, no, we already offered and you said no. But everyone was like, we would love to. That's so great. It was such a positive message that I knew that, I already knew it was the right group, but it just, a little heart thing. It just kind of reassured me, like, okay, this is definitely the right path right now. So yeah, that's all.
Look, that blows me away. My little camo head, like, as long as we're attracting and retaining folks like you guys and you, Mary, that's what I know. That's the benchmark. That's the KPI, right? Like, what's the goal? Hey, how many people can I surround myself who have all the passion, all the offerings? They have amazing things to do. How can we help them do it? That's it. that's the most selfless thing you could do is just, hey, I'm going to help Mary out, right? Why? Because she's a good person and she can make a dent in this world. And here's the side effect. Most of the time, not all the time, right? Most of the time, good things happen. So, hey, the next time you ever done something for someone nice, done something nice, and they go, well, why did you do that? And you say, well, I know you do the same for me. No, I like to say it in the forward tense. Hey, no, I'm happy to help you. I know you'll do the same for me when you have the opportunity. And guess what? 99% of the time they do. And if they don't, hey, it's okay, right? Let it be. So I love what you had to say there. See, you got a lot of good stuff to say. You better stop that. All right.
Yay.
So let's hear from Ben. We ain't heard from Ben for a while. I've been over quiet. All right. What's your word? And then that big long question. I'll put it back up there.
Thank you. So I got 3 words, to be quite frank. Hopefully, let's just go against the grain here with 3 instead of 1. Abundance. That's my manifestation for 2025. Balance and clarity. So I am manifesting abundance in every part of my life, in the love I'm able to give, in the love I'm able to receive, in monetary senses, in non-monetary senses, in humility and non-humility, in any way possible. I'm going to have an abundance. Balance. I think that's been a thing that eludes me. I don't know what it looks like yet, but I'm going to get there. And then clarity, well, that's really going to help me find that balance and get the abundance, because now I have a focus. So those are my 3 words for 2025.
And we got to work on your shyness. You know that? Like, I'm not going to spill the beans, but I popped in somewhere. Ben said something great. People booed. And I went, I want to meet that guy. No, that's really what happened. I was like, hey, and think about it. Next time you do something or you're who you are and you say, and people boo, there's one person out there going, I'm going to call him after this. I promise you. That's got to be your mentality. Put it out there like a peacock, man. 1,000 people might boo or disregard or even make fun of it. But I'm not after that, man. I'm after the one, right? I'm after the Dr. Mary. I'm after birds of a feather here, buddy. You got
That's
it.
so mean. I can't believe someone did that.
Listen,
Oh, it happens all the time.
Really? Oh my gosh.
Attention, and I will take a boo any day. Someone's listening. That's great. Just reframe that negativity into a positive. Boo all you want.
Yeah.
That's a cheer for me.
2025. I'm saying turning shit into fertilizer. I need to make a T-shirt with a redneck merch on it. That's it. That's what do you do all day? Just turn life shit into fertilizer. Make the fertilizer factory stock go up, baby. I mean, honestly, have fun with it, but that's it. Tommy said that he quoted Bruce Lee, be water. Honestly, that's exactly, if you can't go through it, you go around it, over it, right? You find a way. And that is so much better. And look at Susannah, right? Like proof positive, right? I remember when she didn't really want to talk and she ain't writing nothing. Now, boom, like now she's a dynamo, right? Like, hey, that's support. That's absolutely, unconditional love, pushing people up and wanting to see her do well, right? I love it. Every day somebody's doing something for someone in the Hounds because they just can. I mean, where can you get that? They say, well, how does this redneck Camelot work? Just come in and be a good person, right? Not perfect, but have the right heart attitude, man. I love it. So whose word did we not get? Was it Susannah? We got your word, right?
Susannah's. Did we get hers?
I don't
It's
think
going to be a good one. Susannah, can you hear me? Or are you just being shy again? The screen didn't freeze. She did. All right.
I didn't freeze. I just keep moving. I know. It's that ADHD. I just keep going back and forth.
I only pick on you because I love you. So we got to know. Your word's got to be a good one. What is it?
Well, so I never did words until going into 2022 because I could never remember it through the month of January. It's like you come up with a word and by the end of the month, it's gone. But that was the year that I was hit with the word of faith. Then the next year, and it always happens the day, like 1 or 2 days before the year starts. Going into 2023, it was fly. Going into this year, it was soar. And as I try not to think about the word, because that, if I put too much thought into it, these words have been put on my heart. It's not words that I sat here and thought, oh, I want it to be this because of, no, it had to be put on the heart. And I've had a couple of them that I was thinking of, but I think this one's going to end up with ignite. And it goes right back to everything I talk about in terms of move beyond boxes. The topic that I want to speak on, build that huge speaker platform to help women move beyond boxes, work with organizations to help them move beyond the box of not having a space of belonging, to create that belonging, because that's actually a business case when you have it. The only way that any of these things get started, because it's like we always know what we need to do, but until we ignite our awareness, we don't change. So ignite really feels like the word for this year, to stop sitting there, to stop being a victim. If you feel like a victim, you don't have to. And once you know you don't have to, then if you're still a victim, that's your choice. If you're ready to move from that, ignite your awareness and take the first step. Because if knowing is half the battle, then awareness is the first step. And awareness requires ignition, not a spark. And that's the other thing. I used to say, spark the ignition, spark your awareness, but spark doesn't guarantee you're going to get the flames. You're not guaranteed that the fire will start. But if you ignite it, that's like dropping a hand grenade in the timber, and it's like, your fire started, good to go.
That is a perfect word for you and a lot of people. I really like that. And the whole awareness thing, oh man, I'm trying to wind down the show and you're getting me hyped up. I can go on and on, but it really is. Honestly, and tell me if you disagree or what you think in the comments, but in the panel, I see two types of people when I zoom out at the sky level, the space level, right? Macro. I see aware and unaware. And it's not a judgmental thing. There was years I was unaware. And I'm still probably unaware of certain things now, but there's a certain level of awareness and it was almost like the day it happened. It was around January, right? And the day it happened, it was like I showed up to a party that people had been at for 10 years. Like, I'm like, wow, look at this, man. There's a disco ball. And everybody's like, ain't that cute? This guy just showed up. Like, and you start to surround and attract people like that. And I love it because that's how you get better, right? Now I'm around people who I go, wow, like what's next, Buddha? Like they're so aware, they're so there. And that's what I want. I want to go through the growth. I want to go through the challenge. I want to be a better person. That's it. It's for no other reason. I want to leave a legacy. When I get smacked by a bus, maybe there's a little, food bank in Tanzania or something that I left behind. Like that's really what I want to accomplish out there. I mean, I want to go out there and open up food banks because I can, for Pete's sake, right? And that's what I mean. What could you do if you unlocked all that self doubt and all that bullshit? Yeah, that's what can happen. You could be in a camo hat across from people who like built giant businesses and make things happen. I mean, hell, if I could do it, who can't? I want to hear your excuses. Put those in the chat, right? Because it's proof positive, man. Put yourself out there. The world needs you. I know that sounds corny, but Pat Kennedy, good to see you, my friend. Thank you for all the support and coming to the call. Tuesday, whatever day, yesterday. It's great to see you. All right, final question because I would keep you all night. Let's see. I had the question up there. Dadgummit, there it is. All right, let's go to Ben. All right, he's so shy. So how can we leverage the lessons of the past to create meaningful change and a stronger vision for the year ahead?
I mean, this question is like, how could you not do that, right? Be water, right? How could you not leverage your experience, your pain, your happiness, your joy, the ups and the downs? Like, that is currency. So you got to leverage it, right? And that's the only way that you can create actual meaningful change, not, paint on a wall or lipstick on a pig, right? But actual impactful change. Yeah, I honestly don't know what else to say about that.
You're right. It sucks too. Like nobody wakes up and goes, "Hey, life is great. How can I struggle today?" Right? Like nobody. Our default is to get the hell out of the struggle. At least that's mine. Disagree, but here's what. Now when things happen, I'm like, oh, that must be an area of life I got to conquer before I get the next level. Right? Like a video game. That's it. I'm like, oh, well, maybe I got to work on my finances. Maybe I got to work on my succession plan. Right? I don't take it as, oh my God. Right? I just say, hey, that's what life does. It throws you crap, right? Tsunami after tsunami. You can't stop the waves, but you learn how to surf. That's what I'm telling you. And if I heard that last year, I'd be like, oh, that's some self help bullshit. But this year, I'm like, no, I've lived it, right? And the people around me lived it. So that's the whole thing. Look at it like a daggum adventure. Stop looking at it like some checklist or some kind of thing that you're supposed to do, and go out there and create and redefine. It, all these people have in common that I've heard on the panel today, and just in the Hounds and friends of the Hounds and on LinkedIn, you know, they define success for themselves, right? They're doing what they want to do, not what they feel like they have to, or they were willing to get rid of that crappy job and lose the health benefits because that's how ate up they were with it. Like, hey, if you're at that fence, best thing you could do is go out there and talk to people. That's it. Go out there and talk to somebody you can relate to and connect to, and learn from them. All right, work through your stuff. All right, that was my PBS special word. All right, so last question to let's go to Mary. She's been quiet with her little elf hat. All right, how you gonna leverage the lessons from the past to make a bigger, stronger vision for the year ahead at 2025?
Okay, so for me, just reading over this, sometimes you just need a minute. Okay, I think for me, I'm a big chaser. I used to be a big chaser, like of people, you know what I mean? Of like wanting some kind of reciprocation of like my feelings or my emotions or my friendship or whatever. Like I used to be someone who really chased after people or chased after even an opportunity or chased after something, whether it's a person or a plan or something. And I do believe in following your dreams and following your heart and doing what you think is right to make it happen. But when it comes to people, I think one of the big lessons I learned this past year and something I've really been working on is I don't chase, I attract. That's been my motto this past year. I don't chase after people. I attract the right group, right? I'm not going to beg somebody to stay friends with me or be in my circle or be part of my world. I'm not going to chase after that. I'm going to sit back and just be me, be myself with my energy and kind of like let what comes in come in. Let the positive kind of find its way to me. Let the right people find their way, because they will. The right people will always find their way to you, and the wrong people will filter out. But if you do what I did for a long time, for probably years and years on end, and chase after affection and chase after support and chase after it, it's not going to work. You have to let the right emotions, the right people, the right vibe, people with your mindset, they will come to you. They'll cross paths with you if you're just kind of like yourself and true to who you are. They'll come to you. So you don't need to chase after someone. If someone wants to leave your life or someone isn't right in your life, let them go and make room and make space for the right group. So that's what I've really done this past year. And that's the biggest way that I've changed. And going on into the future with 2025 being right around the corner, that's kind of what I'm going to continue doing. And remembering that motto, I tell myself every day, I don't chase, I attract. I don't chase. I literally told myself that today when I was kind of finding myself in a situation where I was like, oh, I need to get a hold of like, what do I do about this person? I don't chase, I attract, let what will be. So yeah, that's all I got.
Wow, we should have closed on that. That was the most powerful.
That's fine.
Well, and for all the folks out there, because people can relate. I can relate to that so much. I don't know about y'all, but man, spot on. I would have done, and I did anything to keep a friend or to keep whatever. And a lot of people have throughout our life, man. And so being willing to let go, because it's like this. you don't have to do a whole lot. You just have to work on you and put yourself in a position. It's like the radio. Like you don't make the radio waves go into the radio, but you have to dial it in, tune it into the right system, right? That's how it was when I was willing to grow and get rid of stuff and just really do the hard work change. I was like, wow, where's my opportunities? Where are my business? Where's my friends going to come from? You know what was funny? They were already there. It just came out of nowhere. No, I set appointments. I had like 6 appointments set. I didn't even have 6 meetings. Where the hell that come from? Right? Life will open up when you're willing to let go and move forward and be courageous. I'm telling you. But you can't take old stuff with you. You got to be 100% in. You can't be 95% in. Right? You can start there, but don't kid yourself. You're going to know when you're 100% in because life will change. It'll be scary as hell in most cases. But I'm telling you, the light is closer at the end of the tunnel than you think. All right. And it's proof positive. Like I've wrote in more books than I've read this year. I know shit. That's exactly it. Hey, I'm good with that. And I'm gonna buy them and give them out for Christmas gifts for anybody who bet against me, right? Just to have a little holiday fun. But still, I just it's fun. I, I'm more happy about the message and what we can impact and do. And honestly, writing in this book, I told y'all the truth. I said, I just did it because I didn't want to tell CJ no, man. I wasn't sure. But I was so glad I did it because when I wrote in this chapter, it was the roadmap for taking the hounds to the next level. And here we are, right? We got our own stuff, we got our own tools, we got our own ecosystem. Now people are plugging in and getting stuff done like never before. If life was good, I wouldn't have done that. Like I wouldn't be here right now. So don't focus on the rearview mirror. That's what I'm going to say. Focus on the windshield. All right. So let's see. Last question. Susannah, did you go? We made you go last because we wanted to make sure that you know I gave you a break. I've been burning you up all day because I love you. So, all right, your answer to the question.
So the first thing is see what happened, especially the negative stuff. Don't dwell on it. Don't focus on it. You have to see what happened, but accept that it's in the past. Let it go. Because when we focus on the past ends up becoming the future, because that's all you're thinking of. And you're focusing on what's negative or what went wrong. And you need to know it. You need to understand it. But don't put everything into it and don't mull it over and beat yourself up about it or whatever. It's just like, think about the experiences from childhood that the minute you get over them, and that might not be for 20, 30, 40 years. Once you get over it, suddenly you've cut away the anchor that's been dragging you down. And you're now in the present. And when you focus on the present, know what happened in the past, but focus on the present, that means the future's wide open. If you focused on the past, you're not in the present, you're in the past, and that becomes the future. So it's not worth it. And so CJ kind of mentioned this too, not having expectations. We've run into this so many times where you have these expectations that don't get met, and then that drags you down. That becomes another piece of what pulls you into the past. When you can let go of those expectations, when you can let go of people who, as much as you love them, as much as you wanted them in your life, and you did everything you could to help, to be there with them and help them out, when you see that they're just not there for you, that they're somewhere else, that they've taken what you've given, and it's like, okay, thank you, and away they go. You just let them go. Yeah. Let's stay focused on the present and going forward. And if you cut the ties, you cut the ties. Don't hold it back. And I know I think Mary mentioned this too. You just don't. If they're gone, they're gone. But don't try and drag them back in, because what matters is your energy. And if they're going to drag you down, don't go there.
I love it. And let it here. So when they say let it go, listen, I don't know, man. I'm just troublesome sometimes in my own head. I can't let it go. Sometimes I just can't let things go. So here's what I've learned: let it be. Try that one. So if you can't let it go, let it be. In other words, you're saying, hey, this sucks, and I don't want to let it go, but I'm going to anyway, right? And then if you can't let it be, use that for fuel. That's what if something's gnawing at me and I'm just going to use it to drive me, right? So that's why I was working at 10 p.m. on a Friday with no voice, leaving 80 messages anyway. I was just fueled, but there was things in my head, negative tapes, people, what they said. And I'm like, all right, and I'm the only dude, going out there at 10 p.m. on a Friday without a voice, leaving voice messages. Yeah, I'm earning the right to win. I'm earning, all this stuff. Oh, he got lucky. Oh, crap, right? And I'm happy. I'm happy, even when it's hard and it's just a chore. I'm exhausted. Hey, I could be doing a million things that I would hate, right? Like here I am. Like it's amazing. So find gratefulness in what you're in. All right. I'm going to answer this myself because nobody asked me, Suzanne. I'm sorry. I didn't give her a chance. I just picked on her and got mad at her for not asking me something. All right. See, I'm self-aware, dadgum. All right. I think I just answered this. The past, learn from it. Learn from it. Something happens, good or bad, learn from it. Learn from it, ask questions, and examine it. That's what I'd say. But question it. Why am I doing what I'm doing right now? Do I want to do this? Right? Next time you say, I'm going to say no, and then the little voice says, well, you shouldn't, question it. Why? Right? Why not? Right? Yeah, I mean, seriously, if you start asking that question and going down that path, man, it's gonna open up a whole new world. I'm telling you, right? And everybody here knows what I'm talking about, so I don't have to preach to the choir on this one. Uh, but hey, trust yourself. Seriously, trust yourself a lot more, right? Work on loving yourself. We love ourselves more than anybody in the world, but we care more about their daggum opinions. I don't remember where I heard that. But it's true. Now I'm like, hey, I'll hope you like me, but if you don't, what am I going to do about that? Right? If I'm being my best self and you don't like me, that's pretty much over. I'm gonna go hang out with Susannah instead, right? And that's got to be your mentality, resilience, right? I know when the air mattress went down, the air mattress deflated. My daughters were like, "Dad, we need a new air mattress." I said, "No, you just need to build some toughness, lay on the floor, build resilience." And they were like, "No, Dad, we don't want resilience. We want an air mattress that works." And I'm like, "I know you don't, but that's the point, right? Sometimes stuff is supposed to suck. How else are you supposed to grow? So if you're out there listening, hey, take it from one redneck to another, I guess. Hey, go out there and take the hits. Right? I felt like this year I was a boxer who kept getting surprised when people threw punches. Right, Ben? You sign up for boxing class and you're complaining about people throwing punches at a boxing, right? Yeah. And then I realized, dude, this is your life. This is your game, man. Like this is the game you want to play. Either get out or go all in. And I was like, hey, that's it. I'm gonna be happy even when I don't have a reason to be happy. I'm gonna find joy in what I do. And then somebody like Mary gets involved, writes a book, right? And I'm like, oh, right. All the negative shit went in the garbage can. I'm like, I'm gonna do that again, right? So be empowered, man. Pep talk yourself. It's just you in here, right? That's all I'm gonna say. Just hey, conquer that. You got the world. All right. Anybody got any last thing you want to say? Any words of wisdom, nuggets, encouragement? Hey, floor is yours if you want to drop it.
I just want to say I love it. It's so pretty. It's like my Christmas present.
You're welcome.
I love it. It's so up. Look how what message of light and look, it's just shining. I love it.
It was fun to make that cover.
Oh my gosh, Susannah. It's like such an uplifting message, and the cover is so uplifting too. It's just literally shining light. I love it. I think that's what the first thing I saw. I'm like, ooh, this is nice. I just like the message.
Dude, you don't have to disclose the number, but you had to have bought like hundreds of them. There's probably one in the bathroom, one in the bedroom, one in everybody's locker at work. Yeah.
You're talking to me? No, I bought 2 copies. I bought 2.
Okay.
One for me.
I don't believe it.
And one from, I swear on, I don't know, what can I swear on? Pizza? I don't know. I bought 2 copies because I didn't want to go crazy because I wanted to make sure I got it, and I'll probably buy 500 and I'll probably stay in my closet.
No,
No,
she'll be at the
giving
bus stop passing them out.
No, I will. I'll probably donate them to the library. You know what I mean? So like it can get to people who need a message of positivity. I want to make sure it like gets to people who need the message. So probably donate a couple. Like I'll probably donate some. I'll probably like give some, to like different donation groups and things. I think that's a great. I think that's a great way to spread a message is to like give them to people who maybe can't afford it but need it. Like how they do with the Kindle. So
I literally did that today, Dr. Mary. We
you
have
did. See,
community
great
book
minds.
boxes, and I just put them into community book boxes because
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah, I'll probably leave them here, leave them there, like, leave them at like the bus stop, leave them like just leave a copy somewhere because I feel like this is such a positive message in this book and that it's going to get to who needs to see it. So I think that somewhere there's someone who needs to see it. Maybe they can't get access to it maybe they don't have Amazon, maybe they don't have the finance, maybe for whatever reason, maybe they don't have Kindle for whatever reason, maybe they can't get it. So if I buy a bunch and leave it somewhere, it'll get to who it needs to get to. So that's probably what I'm going to do. But I bought 2 for me, and now I'll go crazy.
Hold up. I got to spill the beans. What is it, 2 or 3 years ago when I first met you? You wouldn't even take a phone call. Now look at you.
Me,
This is
yeah,
what
I
I mean.
wouldn't.
She wouldn't even
I
use her
wouldn't.
voice on the telephone, and now she's just out here writing
I'm
books
just,
on every time you watch a live stream. There's Dr. Mary. This is so much fun. I love this.
well, you know why though? Because when you surround yourself with positive people, like all of you and CJ, like when you surround yourself with positivity and light, you can start to shine. But if you're just surrounded by maybe not the best environment, whatever it is, your spirit can't grow. So it is what it is.
I just want to say sincerely. I mean, we're reflecting. It's Christmas, almost New Year. You've been there since the beginning, and I value that. I really appreciate that. Before we had a clue what we were doing, before I had any inclination of what I was wanted to be when I grew up, you were there. You were a good friend. You were supportive. And that is very instrumental on where we're at today as the Hounds, and as a person. So I really appreciate that immensely. Um, you never know what impact you have on people's lives, guys. That's all I'm gonna say. Right? You think, oh, that wasn't a big deal, man. It could have been like $1 million to that person. Don't underestimate it. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know I've had people, I'm like, why is this person pushing me up? Right. We got all the people here, CJ, Christine Bell. And I'm like, I didn't do nothing for them. Like, why are they there for me? They just are. Right. And then one day you realize, hey, I am valuable. I am somebody. Right. You don't need, but sometimes you need people to believe in you and to show you that. And yeah, I've got countless people I can name, but I really appreciate you. Susannah, you got anything, words of wisdom you want to close with or any share?
I would say when you see somebody, don't focus on what they look like, focus on who they are on the inside. See the person for who they are.
That was well said. I was hoping you'd say more, but I'm not going to get anything. Emma.
Well, that's such a perfect message. I mean, she said it so beautifully. That's just perfect. I mean,
What was it?
it was perfect. Like sometimes it's just that was just beautiful. I totally agree with that.
Yeah, I don't want to end the show. This is why this is awkward. I'm just trying to find a way to get you all to stay for another daggum hour and a half. But
You should have us on your show again then. Another show, a redo show.
we will. I want to bring it back. Let me know if you guys want to. 2 years ago we did Women's Month in March, but we had like kind of like live mentoring. So if we had a seasoned professional woman and somebody who wanted to come out and try a new career, or maybe to graduate college, that went really well. So if anybody's open to that and want to do that, that would be fun. Right? You get to ask questions of somebody who's been on that path for 10, 20 years. Right? And we got a slew of folks that we can pull from. So give me some show ideas too. If you're out there listening, tell us what kind of things would be fun this year, man. I'm willing to do anything, try almost any goofy thing, because again, I want to impact people. I got to be willing to look stupid if that's what it's going to take until we get it right. So courage before confidence. All right. If nobody else got anything else they want to share, I just wanted to say again, thank you for everything. It's been a phenomenal year. And I don't think I've ever been as excited for a new year as I am right now. So you guys have done more than you'll ever know. can't wait to, make a huge impact in this world together, guys. So love you all. See, I got this down now. I'll have to look at. Love you all. Appreciate you. And man, we'll see you. No more live streams until January. We'll be back at the very beginning of 2025. No strays out there. Don't build a business by your daggum self. Join this team of winners who will push you up and help you as much as they can. We got the tools, we got the system. Unbelievable. All right. Test drivers, check us out. We're a friendly bunch. Y'all have a good one. Princess Wave. Thank y'all for stopping by. Be sure to follow, share, and like, and send me a message if you had fun today. Y'all come back now.